From April to June, 3 months I was rejected. And that demotivated me. My confidence went very low. I started doubting myself that am I made for this profession? Can I do this? Hello guys, welcome back to another vlog. My name is Sana and I hope you guys are doing very well. आज के vlog में हम बात करेंगे what happened to my career after Airways shut. What turns did my life take? So sit back, relax and enjoy this video. As you all know, I was in ex-Airways. So like any other ex-Airways crew, I was in a lot of shock of my airline shutting down overnight. I was just 21. I had no future plans of what I want to do next or what I should do next. So I started giving interviews from April to June. I gave interview in Qatar, Emirates, Vistara, Singapore, SpiceJet, Indigo, name the airline, and I have given the interview. I got rejected in all the airlines. Although I got selected in Vistara and Asia, but I kept that as my backup option. If nothing works out, I would join those airlines. But frankly speaking, I did not want to join any domestic airline after working for Airways. मुझे अभी भी याद है, I was so tensed about my future. It was just a few days after my birthday on 29 June 2019. It was 3 AM in the night. And I was just thinking that, you know, the last interview I gave for Emirates, I made a single mistake. I went in the last round and I remember I didn't have a normal lens. I didn't have a transparent lens, so I wore a color lens. And she asked me my eye color, that what color is your eye? And I told this is just a lens, my eyes are like black in color. And I got rejected for that because I wore a color lens. It is not professional. Just that mistake and I did not get selected. I was regretting it that day. I was like, maybe, you know, if Emirates could come again, I could, you know, improve my mistakes and I could give it a try again. So I was like, let me just check their website, you know, just let me check, excluding India, where are they taking interviews. And guess what? There was a venue in India in the month of July. When I checked the locations, it was not in Mumbai, but it was in Lucknow and Bangalore. But still, this was a ray of hope for me that I could not repeat the same mistakes I did last time and I could go and give this shot. So I started preparing myself for the interview which I had to give in Frankfurt. I called them, I asked for the dates, I went on the date and I knew what was going to happen because I have given the same interview once before as well. The interviewers were really happy with me and that gave me an indication that I might get an invite for Lucknow or Bangalore. This was a positive sign for me. After coming back from Frankfurt, I started preparing myself for the assessment day. I knew what rounds were going to take place and I was very confident this time that I would give my best. The mistakes I've done previously, I would not do it again. So then I started watching YouTube videos. I made a book just for the interview. I wrote down questions, I made answers for that, I made alternate answers for that. I really worked hard. I used to memorize those answers. I used to look for videos of how to give answers. Despite of me being a cabin crew, I was still doing this because I did not want to miss this opportunity. So on 8th of July 2019, I got a call from Frankfurt stating that I have been selected for further assessment day in Emirates and the venue is Lucknow. I was really happy. I booked my tickets, I booked my hotels and I was ready to go to Lucknow to give my interview. I reached Lucknow and I still remember the day before my interview. I could not sleep in the night. I was so tense that I could see it on my face. However, I got up very early in the morning. I got ready. I was reading my notes, do's and don'ts, and I reached the venue really early, by 6 o'clock. The interview was going to be at 7 o'clock. And I could see only 10 or 15 people by that time. I was like, okay, but I knew there were a lot of people going to come by 7. So they started taking us one by one, and since I was very early at the venue, I got the number 17. I was really happy with my number because I believe somewhere that number 7 and number 9 are a very lucky number for me. So by 7 o'clock, everybody was in the venue. When I looked around in the room, I could see a lot of experienced crew, a lot of good looking crew and professional at the same time. That made my confidence a little low, or you can say I was demotivated looking around. but I was still like, no, I have to do this and I need to get this. So the interviewer came, she showed us a beautiful interview of Emirates, an introduction video, and everybody could see themselves in that uniform, living in Dubai, living that life. That gave me a boost. So she started calling everybody one by one for the first round. I think that is a CV drop-off. So when I saw it is for less than 10 seconds, I got very nervous. I was like, I don't know what she's asking, or even if she's asking something or not. So my number came, I went, hello, good evening. I just gave that. With a big smile, and she asked me, what languages do you speak, Sana? And I told her I speak Hindi, English, Marathi, Urdu. Oh, very well. Do you know to write as well? And I was like, yes, I do know to write. She was like, okay, thank you so much. And I went off. I had to wait for 2 hours for the entire batch to give that first round. And those 2 hours were very heavy for me because I was just thinking, did I give my best? Did I make any mistake? Was I nervous? Because my hands were shivering. I thought about this interview for the entire month, that I would do this, I would do that, but when the time came, my hands were really shivering. I was like, why? I don't know. But still I was like, let's pray. I think I've given my best and let's pray I get through this round. So after 2 hours, a big list came out and I was so tense at that time. My heartbeat was going fast. And there I could see number 17 was the first number, and I had a big smile on my face. I couldn't even tell you, that big smile, and I was like, wow, like, you know, from number 1 to 17 I was the one who made that impression. That was like a big victory for me. After that came the second round. I was very well prepared for this round. It was like a picture round. You and your partner have to discuss the picture and you have to explain. I nailed that round because I had prepared so much for that round that I nailed it. I knew I was gonna get through that round. I got through that round. And then came the last round, which was a group discussion. I was in the first batch because my number was very first. So we gave the group discussion. From my batch, I think most of us got through in that round. And we were selected for finals. I was so happy. I still remember calling my mother and I was like, hi mom, I think I have not got through. I'm really upset. I want to come back home. I failed again. I remember saying this, I failed again. And she was like, no worries, it's okay. You gave your best. You gave your best try you could. Just come home, everything will be fine. And then I bursted out laughing that, oh, I'm joking. I have got through. I gave my best and I got through. She was so happy. Her happiness was over the clouds and she was like, oh my god, this is such a good news. And then I waited for everybody to finish the group discussion, and then we were almost 16 or 17 of us who were gonna go to the video call interview. So we were all 17 of us in that room, and she was explaining all the paperwork, and we had to do 2 tests as well, which was psychometric and English test before the final interview. She was giving us all the paperwork to write and forms to fill. And then she told us the interview dates, the final video call dates, you all can choose. I wanted to go very first. I was like, can I choose first please? She's like, yeah, why not? I chose the date, the very first date, and I was like, it was, I think, after 4 days of my interview was the very first date. So I chose that and I was like, I'll take the first time. So it was 3:30 in the afternoon. So I was like, okay, I'll take this time as well. And I was very happy with my slot because I was like, okay, I'll be relaxed, I'll be very calm, it will be in afternoon, there'll be no noise and I can give the interview very nicely. So I was very happy with my dates. So the very next day I flew back to Mumbai. As soon as I landed, 8 o'clock I think was the deadline for my English and psychometric test. So I went to a cyber cafe because my laptop wasn't working. So I went to a cyber cafe and I did both my tests and I was waiting for the results. The next morning I got my results that I have passed the interview. So now I started looking for YouTube videos where people can explain the last round, like the video call round, how you have to give and how you should speak and how confident you should be. So I was looking for questions as well. And there was this one thing common in every video. They were like, we have a white background or we have a neat bright background maybe. And my house was green in color. So I was very confused that should I give my interview in a green background or what should I do? So I discussed it with my mother, and my mother was like, no worries, we will paint the wall white. So my interview was the next day, and my mother was like, you just prepare for the interview, we will have that wall painted white for your interview. And I still remember we got a painter, paint that wall white just for the interview. And then I gave my interview on my phone, and I gave the interview. I was so nervous, I cannot tell you guys. I made a blunder up here and then little bit, but I was smiling the entire time. My video call was for good 1 hour. And after the video call, my heartbeat was fast. I was walking in the entire house. I was like, did I do my best? What did I do? I was just remembering all the questions she asked me, that how did I answer? And I was like, no, I gave pretty good answers. But now I knew was the waiting time. It could take weeks, months, and I was like, okay, I will wait patiently. The same night when I gave the interview, I got a call from Vistara and a mail from Vistara that you have to join on Monday. My interview was on Thursday. I had 2 days to pack my bags, and I was so confused that what should I do now? Should I go Vistara? Should I say I'm not joining? Because that was my backup option. And I decided to go to Vistara. I was like, okay, I'll take this flight. If something comes from Emirates, I'll come back. I packed my bag, everything was done. My flight was on Monday, 1600 in the evening. So early in the morning, I got up with a call and I just received, hello, yes, is this Sana Muhammad Salim? I was like, yes. It's like, hi, I'm from Emirates and I'm here to congratulate you that you have got through the final round and you have been selected to come to Emirates as a cabin crew. My happiness was so much. I was sleeping. I was like, oh my god, I couldn't express, like there was no words for me to say to that person who was calling me, but I was so happy. So, and my mother was in the hall, I was in the bedroom, so she wouldn't know that I got a call. I went running to my mother and I was like, I was giving a thumbs up that I've got a call, I don't need to go to Vistara anymore. And she was like, okay, fine, everything happens at the right time. So after that, the interviewer was telling me that, there is this portal where you need to log in, you'll get the credentials in a while. And I was listening to him very, very dearly that yes, okay, everything. He's like, we will send you a mail which will explain everything. So now was the date of joining. He gave me 2 options, which was at the very beginning in August or in the middle of August. I was like, can I know the dates? He told me 9th of August, 16th of August, and then further on. And I was like, 9 is a lucky number. I was like, August 9, I am joining. And he was like, are you sure? Because there are only few, like just a week and some days. I was like, yes, I'm very sure. I want to join on 9th of August. And he was like, well, that's amazing news. You can join on 9th of August. And yes, I started packing my bag. After that, I called Vistara and I told her that I'm really sorry, I would not be joining. And I started my preparations for Emirates. I did my medicals, my joining formalities, and also my visa formality. The first interview of my life was with Jet Airways, and I got through. I was so confident that now when I give my first interview, I will be selected wherever I want. But I did not. From April to June, 3 months I was rejected. And that demotivated me. My confidence went very low. I started doubting myself that am I made for this profession? Can I do this? But when Emirates happened, I got all my answers. I understood that why it wasn't working anywhere else, because it was meant to work here. And this made me really happy, guys. So I know a lot of things are happening right now around the world. A lot of people are losing jobs. But have faith. You will get what you deserve. Just have to work hard for it. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please share, subscribe the channel, and do leave a sweet comment down. As well, if you want us to make any other video, please DM me on Instagram or leave it in the comment. Thank you so much.